I got to remember my Alandi.
Yeah, true. But not yet.
Yeah.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
It's fair.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to Wanderful.
Russian.
Hello and welcome to Wanderful. It's Tyler. I'm your DM, and I'm joined by my three good boys, Kyle, Matt, and Jeremy. Don't say hello. We don't have time. This right
no
now.
No hellos in season 2?
No. We'll do hellos in season 2, but it's not season 2 yet. Season 2 is this Wednesday. It's currently Monday if you're listening to this when this is released. We're giving you a recap of season 1. We're going to storm through this. If I forget to say something or you guys hear something that needs to be said, then say it. But we're going to just jump right on through this. It's going to be a quick little recap.
Is it going to be like a
jump right into it?
Yeah, let's jump right into
like
it. It's me, Philip.
Is it going to be like a clip show?
Philip James Franco. What'd you say?
All right, cut to the clip. Cut
to the clip.
All right, it is.
It's not.
Let's do a Family Guy style cutaway. Wow, this recap is even worse than that time I went to a bad thing. So episode 1 entitled "Dude, Where's My Worm?" You three guys, Carveth, Lonnie, and Bond, you get home to your hometown of Mordell after fighting
Smaug,
Smelly Steve and his Steve and his band of smelly skellies. I can't remember, something like that. Anyway, you get back and Elder Grumbo's like, "There's worms in the library," and then you go into the library and there's a bunch of worms, and
we kill the worms.
You kill them and almost die because I forgot how weak level 1 players are.
Yeah.
Then you guys find a tunnel underneath the library where Londi goes in and finds a map that has his birthmark symbol on it above a cave on the other side of yonder. And it also says that it belonged to your mom, who your mother and father had disappeared 15 years ago, mysteriously. And hadn't had a single clue as to their disappearance, why or for whatever reason. Up until now, you have at least a direction to go off of. But while Alandi was in that cave, Bon and Carveth in episode 2, entitled "The Acolyte of the Tide," someone was entering the library, even though they weren't supposed to. That was the Acolyte of the Tide, a cleric who became very quickly rivals with Bon.
A bastard.
A bastard, if you will.
A real son of a gun.
He summoned his water-based spiritual weapon and murdered all three of you. Not murdered, but he knocked each of you out. Handily. And then the three of you went to the hospital. You got all patched up, and then you all three went to take some time to recoup. And then we set off after him. Then in episode 3, Into the Tiny Lion's Den, the three of you all went to chase after the Acolyte of the Tide and stumbled upon you chased him into the Ironwood, I should say. And you stumbled upon a band of thieves that had basically a hideout underground, where you found out that the Acolyte of the Tide was actually captured and brought into this hideout. At the end of this episode, you ran into Sadie and Bees, who have become recurring characters. And you basically helped them to escape, and they helped you to get through this Lion's Den. Episode 4, entitled "Oceans You and Me Makes 3, is a heist episode where basically you three, along with Sadie and Bees, went through, or not with Bees, actually. Bees stayed behind because they were very injured.
Yeah.
Basically, the four of you went through the Tiny Lion's Den and did a heist where basically instead of sneaking around, you just murdered everyone. Surprising.
And we secured every janitor's closet.
And you secured every janitor's closet, which is very important to note. Thank you, Matt.
Absolutely.
And then you, at the end, split up upon killing the boss of the Tiny Lion's Den. What?
You're fine.
What?
It's okay. Don't worry
your
about it.
Your face
just
got too intense.
Because he called you Matt, and then
No.
Jeremy said that.
I know
No, that
Jeremy
was my
said
plan.
that. I was saying Matt because it was Matt's plan to use all of the janitor's
yes.
closet.
And
Yes,
these
I'm
kinds of
understanding now.
unnecessary interruptions are what you can expect from season
Listen,
2.
Yes.
No, it wasn't. You didn't have to say anything. I just was like, we're gonna just brush
Yes.
past that. Let's keep it
So
moving.
all of
Season
the three
2,
of you,
sponsored by Adderall.
the three of you fight the kobold leader of the Tiny Lion's Den, which was the name of the.
Thieves.
Was that the name of the
No, it was the Thieves
It
Guild.
was the Tiny Den of Thieves.
Tiny
Tiny
Den of
Den of
Thieves?
Thieves,
Thank
yes.
you. The leader of the Tiny Den of Thieves. You murder him,
Yeah.
steal his cool switchblade wand, and
Oh, yeah.
Bond goes ahead
forgot we have
into
that.
yeah. Bond goes ahead to the where he believes the Acolyte of the Tide is being held.
Pardon me.
And Bond finds the Acolyte of the Tide moidled. And then in the next episode, there's something about bees. Starts with Bond having a vision of 3 cloaked figures standing over the dead body of the Acolyte of the Tide.
They're
He
talking
can't
some
make out what they're
business.
saying. Can't make out what they're saying. They're
Nope.
mumbling. It's like a very mysterious thing. Then the 3 of you leave the Tiny Lion's Den alongside Sadie and Bees. Then you, Sadie asks, or actually I think Bees asks, one of them asks for the 3 of you to guide them back to, not Thandor, to guide them back to Mordell because it's the nearest town and they're in bad shape. To which you oblige. And Bees decides to reward you by giving you access to his shop, where you all buy a bunch of items. Yes.
Yeah, no, I was making
And
a
then
reference
you
to
all-
movies. Because we watch
Yes. And then they also take you
a good
to
song.
an extra dimensional portal into Blockbuster in the 1990s, where you all pick a movie which gives you abilities.
Don't
All right. Okay. Then in the next episode, A Bark in the Woods, the 3 of you set off following the map that is showing you the way to a mountain that is labeled with Jeremy's birthmark, with Alandi's birthmark. And in these woods, you find a bunch of
If
what are
there's
they
like
called?
an animated
The wolf
version
guys.
of this, if there's an animated version of this, I want you to just
There
draw
should be.
Jeremy's body with a mole and then
Yeah.
Alandi's actual birthmark.
What's the
Jeremy's
name of the
birthmark, I
dog
mean,
guys?
Oh,
in,
shit.
In
I can't
D&D?
remember their names.
Oh,
The dog people.
Knowles.
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 Yes.
Yes, you
On
encounter a
top
band
of
of
the
gnolls who had captured some knights, and you handle them. Actually, you don't really handle them. You're kind of getting your butt kicks. Luckily, Deus Ex Machina, a bunch of knights come in and save you from the Kingdom of Thandor, which is just on the other side of the Ironwood. Q, the next episode, Tales from Thandor, you meet the king of Thandor named Otto, who he doesn't actually claim to be a king because this is an up-and-coming kingdom. It is being built currently. In this episode, Alandi, you you find a tavern that is underground, run by rogues, and actually run by another dark elf. And you meet these people and make some good friends. Bon, King Otto introduces you to another Air Genasi because he happens to know one.
Aria.
Aria, yes. And you learn a little bit about the lore of your people. And Carveth, you meet with Bloom, who is a old friend of your mentor, your trainer, who has since passed. And in this episode also, you learn a new way, what do you call them? A monk tradition.
Monastic tradition.
Monastic tradition.
Yeah.
Alandi, you learn to control a little bit of your chaos magic a little better. And Bon, you go in with Dahlia, who is the king's right hand and an oracle. You go in with her and learn a little bit about how to control and how to understand visions. Unfortunately, however, this vision leaves Dahlia in a coma. Then in the next episode, The Party of Your Dreams, the 3 of you attend a party held by King Otto. However, it's just a trick. You've been brainwashed. You're actually in a dungeon.
we steal from our
And-
friends.
Yeah. Basically, you go through a whole party only to find out that it was all a dream. And you wake up in this dungeon through which you climb out and you realize you're in the palace and explore the palace, finding out there's no one there until you find King Otto standing at the entrance waiting for you. In the next episode, we need to talk about Otto. You face King Otto, who summons some shadow beings to fight you. But it's not actually King Otto. It's actually Pharrell, but it's actually not Pharrell. Pharrell was being controlled remotely by some means. Either way, y'all get out of there. Things are real bad. You run into Gareth, and Gareth's like, you guys got to get out of here. Something was telling me I needed to capture you and kill you guys. So you decide to continue on your quest towards that mountain. Along the way, you run into a couple robots that have... these robots bear Alandi's birthmark. And they find Alandi's birthmark and decide, oh, we need to capture you, but y'all just murder him, and it's fine. Then in the next episode, a pit stop at the Breadcrumb. You stop at the Breadcrumb, which is a tavern run by Sadie, who it's honestly just like less than a day's walk from your destination. So you decide to stay the night there, or you decide to stay for some bar games, some tavern games, some trivia.
This is something I didn't know personally. Is the Sadie that runs the Breadcrumb the Sadie we saved from the Tiny Thieves?
I don't think so, but I was thinking that we have two Sadies.
I think I might have said Sadie before. Her name wasn't Sadie.
I just was making sure because that's something I never put together. I thought that
one
was
of their
actually a
name
thing.
wasn't Sadie. Sadie is with you currently.
Sadie is with us
Sadie
currently.
is the bar lady.
Sadie's the owner of the Breadcrumb.
Yes.
It was Bees and
I'm looking it up.
another person.
Bees. Celinda.
Celinda.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we never
All right.
saw or heard from her again.
Retcon. Never saw her again. So Sadie owns and runs the Breadcrumb. Whilst at these bar games, you run into a couple ne'er-do-wells. You meet Jamiroquai and the other Gabagools, Quest, and Genuine. There's some ragamuffins, but they go off on their own. You continue your quest. The next day in Genesis Part 1, the Throne Mountain, you enter into the mountain and face some trials where there's a bunch of mimics. All the trials have lessons. I'm not going to read through those. You can listen to the episode if you want. There's some mimics in the first trial. The second one, y'all have some moments of self-reflection as you think Alandi dies, but he does not. And then in Genesis Part 2, The Keeper's Treasure, there's another trial where you have to go through a bunch of ooze and are chased down by a bunch of rats. And then in the final trial, you face Keeper, who's a giant robot. You basically fight Keeper and then open up a door in his chest. Turns out Keeper is a golem who was set there by your mother and was waiting for the three of you to arrive to let you in to receive Keeper's treasure. And you walk in and you receive a couple amulets. And whenever you put these amulets on Bon and Carveth, you realize that putting on the amulet reveals that you also have the similar birthmark as to Alandi on various places. I think Carveth's was on your bicep. Bon was on your chest, I think. So the three of you all have this birthmark now.
Which is crazy because we're not biological brothers.
Yeah,
in any
what's
sense.
that mean?
What
I
the
don't
heck
know.
Going on?
Well, I know. You guys don't know. But you then make your way out of the cave and head back to the Breadcrumb to rest after a long day of adventuring. And it turns out our old friend Bees is there.
Hey.
So we're gonna meet Bees again. However, with post-credit scene, we see Jamiroquai, pissed after losing the bar games at the Breadcrumb, is approached by a shady figure,
a stranger,
asking about the three of you. What might that be about? Perhaps we'll find out in the next episode. Perhaps it'll actually be the episode after the next episode.
I'm gonna vomit. I'm getting confused. You can't do the lead up things for these episodes while recapping the episodes. I'm gonna explode.
What do you mean?
Like, you can't be like, and find out next time on the next episode. And anyway, in the next episode, that's
the end.
That's
where we are.
Yeah.
What?
Now we're
recording
we
two
are.
separate things right now.
Remember what's been released as opposed to what we've recorded.
Yeah. This is for them. This isn't for us.
Yes.
Okay, I was so confused.
We know things.
We're
No, you're
you
good.
thought we were
No.
recording this for us.
No, I thought we were recording it for them. I forgot how far back
Yeah.
season 1 is. I didn't.
Anyway, tune in next week tune in on Wednesday for the first episode of season 2 of Wanderful, Somewhat DnD Podcast. It actually doesn't feature any of these other 3 boys. It's going to be a special little episode. I'm excited for y'all to listen to it. And
We got
then
fired.
Yeah, they got fired for 1 week. But we are going back to our bi-weekly, our every other week schedule. We're really excited for y'all to listen to season 2.
Bro, check out this tit sweat.
Bye.